after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing.
What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Also make sure to hit that bell notification, that way you get notified every time I post a video just like this one. Without further ado, let's jump right into the topic of this video. The Las Vegas Raiders again disappointed on the offensive side of the football as they fell 23-18 to the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football. The Raiders offense scored on their first drive, and after that it took them all the way into the middle of the fourth quarter to put points on the board again. That's essentially 2.5 quarters where the Raiders weren't able to score the ball, which, look, for this offense, that's unacceptable. Raiders star wide receiver Davante Adams went off, but besides him, everybody else on this offense could have done a lot better. The Raiders once again could not run the ball, and this was against one of the worst ranked defenses against the run. So look, what exactly happened with this team on the offensive side of the football? We're going to break down the main takeaways that I took away from this game on the offensive side of the game. So without further ado, let's jump into some of the tape. Once again, the Raiders' run blocking wasn't the best, and here Jimmy Garoppolo just barely gets the ball off. It looks like tight end Michael Mayer misses the block. It almost looks like Mayer is late on his pre-snap motion into the backfield, and it puts him in a tough spot to come out and make the block on the nose tackle. But the play was almost a disaster because of this missed block. Here the Raiders make the Steelers pay for committing Foley to stopping the run on this 4th and inches, and Jimmy Garoppolo connects with Davante Adams for a touchdown. Here the Raiders had a tough day slowing down defensive end TJ Watt, and here he goes one-on-one with right tackle Jermaine Illuminor, and he completely dominates him and is able to bring down Jimmy Garoppolo. Here the Raiders struggle to get things going on the ground, and for several different reasons. First, we can look at tight end Michael Mayer. Once again, he misses a block. Luckily, Josh Jacobs is able to make him miss, but also look at left guard Dylan Parham. He doesn't really do a good job sealing his block, and also Andre James doesn't do a good job picking up the linebacker when he's going into the second level, which leads to a minimal 2-yard gain. Here we get to see the first turnover of the day from our quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, and really TJ Watt is the one who causes this turnover in my opinion. Once again, the Steelers get him in a one-on-one matchup with Jermaine Illuminor, and Jimmy Garoppolo can immediately feel the pressure, and it forces him to just get this ball out prematurely. He throws it to Michael Mayer, who was completely covered on this route, and it leads to an easy interception for the Steelers. The Raiders once again struggle to get anything going on the run, and here Jermaine Illuminor misses his block, which allows the opposing linebacker to roam freely inside the backfield and bring down Josh Jacobs for a loss of yards. And here's the play that almost got Jimmy Garoppolo injured and hurt. Once again, it was defensive end TJ Watt. He was able to create havoc on the Raiders all night. He just swats the hands of Jermaine Illuminor, and he's able to immediately get to Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jimmy Garoppolo goes down very awkwardly. And on this rep, quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo just has to do a much better job of not putting Davante Adams in harm's way like this. Look, it's just way too early in the ball game and in the season in general to be throwing these type of balls, these type of passes into triple coverage like this. And this is back-to-back weeks where he's done this. If he keeps it up, he's going to get Davante Adams injured. But look, luckily both times Davante Adams has been able to stay healthy. But this was just a boneheaded read from Jimmy Garoppolo in my opinion. Here we see the second interception of the day from Jimmy Garoppolo off of a play action pass. And here the protection was really good, but also what we got to understand, look down the field, there's only 2 legitimate options for Jimmy Garoppolo essentially. It's essentially 2 wide receivers, Davante Adams and Jacoby Myers versus 4 defensive backs of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and really nobody was open. There was a lot of time, but that's because we had so many people blocking back there. And really at this play, Jimmy Garoppolo should have just thrown this ball out of bounds. He ultimately ends up throwing this pass off of his back foot, and I'm not sure if he was throwing just a prayer up to Jacoby Myers, seeing if he could potentially get a a pass interference, or if he really tried to throw this out of bounds but he just didn't have the arm strength to do so. If that's the case, that's pretty alarming, because you would think he would have enough arm strength to just throw this out of bounds. But look, whatever it was, it led to a terrible interception for the Raiders, and it really just sucked out the entire life of this offense right here. Here we see left guard Dylan Parham loses his matchup once again, which leads to the Raiders once again stalling to run the ball. Here the Steelers defensive tackle absolutely dominates our center Andre James. He's able to swat his hands and then use a swim move, and he leaves Andre James in the dust and is able to get a sack on Jimmy Garoppolo. Now here the Raiders get a nice little gain on this quick bubble screen to DeAndre Carter. Look, I wish the Raiders, and specifically Josh McDaniels with his play calling, I wish they would do this a little bit more often with DeAndre Carter, with Trey Tucker too, especially with the limited running attack we have with Josh Jacobs this season. We have to be a little bit more creative when it comes to screen passes, things like that, because these plays can essentially serve as like a run play. Now, crucial fourth down here for the Raiders early in the fourth quarter, and they fail to convert here. If we look at the right guard though, Greg Van Roten, here he makes a beautiful block, and I just really wish, looking at hindsight, I really wish Jimmy Garoppolo could have stepped up in the pocket and he could either use his legs to run for the first down, or he can step up and then maybe move to his right a little bit to buy a little bit more time, and he should try to throw this ball deep to Hunter Renfrow in the back of the end zone. Instead, he just goes to Jacoby Myers, who was well covered, but he goes to a guy who he has a lot of trust in so far in the season, and it just leads to a turnover on downs for Las Vegas. This was a crucial point in the ball game. Here, there should have been an easy completion to Davante Adams, but Jimmy Garoppolo gets a little antsy in the pocket, and I think this is because we can see how left tackle Colton Miller is on the ground and the pressure was coming on his left hand side, so he panics just a little bit and gets it off quickly, and it leads to him throwing this behind Davante Adams for an incomplete pass. So Raider Nation, the Raiders once again on offense disappointed, and really for me it all starts up front with the offensive line and just in general the inability for this team to run the ball effectively. To me, this team was just built to be a legitimate threat on offense if we can run the ball, if we could run more of a balanced attack. And to me, the offensive line is really starting to concern me because they aren't really improving on the run blocking, and this is just leading us to depend on Jimmy Garoppolo to be something he's never been his whole career. Jimmy Garoppolo has just been known to be a solid game manager who relies on the ground game, the play action pass to be successful. He's a guy that can move the ball for you. He can be overall pretty good in the red zone. He's done a good job with San Francisco utilizing all the weapons he had, but look, Jimmy Garoppolo is just not a quarterback who was built to throw the ball 44 times, and if the Raiders can't find a way to run the ball at least semi-effectively, then the Raiders will continue to struggle on offense all season long. Like I said, Jimmy Garoppolo is just not built for this. If we can't do this, then it's going to be a long season for the Raiders. Also, I would like to see Josh McDaniels switch it up on offense. Look, at this point, I think I would like for him not to run so much 11 personnel, 12 personnel, especially since we don't even get the tight ends involved in the passing game whatsoever. It's been very strange to me. I mean, Michael Mayer, Austin Hooper, none of these guys have really been getting any targets across the middle. At this point, I would like for him to switch things up, try some new stuff. I would like for us to run a little bit more plays in the spread formation, especially with all the different weapons we have on offense that I think we're still underutilizing. Hunter Renfrow, Trey Tucker, even DeAndre Carter. As you saw in that quick little bubble screen, look, you can get these guys involved here and there, but look, no matter how you slice it, if the Raiders can't find a way to run the ball effectively, then we're going to be in big trouble moving forward in this season. But Raider Nation, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And for anybody that's new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.